Starlock, Starlock Plus, Starlock Max, OIS. What's the difference between all these things? Well, if you're new to multi-blades, I hope to give you a bit of an overview in this video. We'll start off with Starlock. So this is a Starlock blade. It has a raised area here, which OIS blades, which is the sort of international standard, it stands for Oscillating Interface System. Those blades are flat, whereas Starlock blades are raised, as you can see. So OIS blades have 12 holes and Starlock blades have 12 stars. But as you can see, this blade has both. This will work on an OIS tool and a Starlock tool, but you need to be careful because not all Starlock blades have those holes. So this is the difference. This is a Starlock blade. Starlock blades come with OIS holes so they can work on almost all types of multi-tools, except of course for a DeWalt, which you need the cutout for. You can bolt them on the end of the DeWalt, but it's pretty cumbersome. This is a Starlock Plus blade. As you can see, it does not have the holes for the OIS system. This will only work on a multi-tool that is classified as a Starlock Plus blade. And this is a Starlock Max blade. Look how long that is. There's a big difference there between that. And that's because of the system that they use. So we've got very small amount of area there that hasn't been punched out compared to this one. This has got a lot of holes in it. Get that out of the way so we can see this a bit better. A lot of holes in there. This has only the one, as you can see. This makes this blade much stronger and much more available to transfer all the vibrations down a longer blade to your cutting surface. So Starlock Max blades allow you to use much bigger blades. There are different lengths of Starlock blades. This isn't necessarily the longest one, of course, but you can get much longer with Starlock Max. But once again, you have to have a tool that is classified to run Starlock Max blades. So if you have a look on this Makita here, you'll see that it says Starlock, Starlock Plus, and Starlock Max. A little picture of each one. This Fein Multitool is exactly the same with the three there. Starlock, Starlock Plus, Starlock Max. Now lots of Starlock tools will do the standard Starlock blades, but they won't do Starlock Plus and Starlock Max, or they'll do Starlock and Starlock Plus, but not Starlock Max. So if you want those bigger, longer blades and more options for different blades, then a dedicated Starlock multi-tool such as this that does all three is the way to go. Now you will see some multi-tools that say they are OIS and Starlock. Now that is only the standard Starlock blades. None of the OIS ones can do blades like that or blades like that because, as I've said, they haven't got the holes that take the pins that are on standard OIS multi-tools. This is what the head of an OIS multi-tool looks like. This is where your blade would attach, and you have 12 pins so that you can turn your blade on 30-degree increments. The blade will go on like that, and you can turn it 30 degrees, lock it on, turn it 30 degrees, lock it on, depending on what angle you need to do your cut at. So that's the OIS, but a Starlock blade looks like this and needs to go into a recess like this. So if we take a blade that doesn't have Starlock on it, there is no way for that to go in there. Just can't physically fit. So if you buy a Starlock multi-tool and then decide you want to use OIS blades, you need some form of adapter, such as this homemade one. This was made by John from UK Tool Talk. I'll put his channel or the video up in this top corner here, down in the description. I did a video on this as well. I'll put that somewhere as well. This requires a longer pin to go in. So he's custom made this pin as well. So good luck finding one of those. There are other options such as this one here from a company that no longer makes them, unfortunately. There's been quite a few come out, adapters for these things, and then the companies seem to disappear, or at least these products disappear from the companies, and I haven't had an explanation why that happens yet. But anywho, so they would go in like that, lock it on, and you can use any old blade. Then this will now function as an OIS or a Starlock. Now, as well as OIS blades and Starlock blades, there are other styles, other systems like those on the screen here. But we can't go into all of them in one video, and the most popular are OIS and Starlock. And as well as different blade systems, there's different tool systems for attaching the blades. So this is the Makita version of a Starlock multi-tool, the 18 volt and the 40 volt, both the same. This is the 18 and this is the 40. Anyway, you flick a lever that releases this pin. You take the pin out, you put the blade on whichever angle you want, those 30-degree angles, put the pin back in, make sure it's right in there, nice and tight, and flick shut, and it is locked in there good and proper, much better than any OIS system. Now, as well as that, there are systems like this which are much quicker. This is a Fein Multitool. Bosch also have a similar system to this, and other brands, and you just clip the blade in like that, bang, it's locked in, just like that, so simple. And when you want to release it, you just go pa-ding, and it's reset, ready to go again. Put the next blade on, bang, away you go. Look at that, so cool. You can even do it with the blade on the bench like that. Now that is a very quick system, doesn't hold in as many places as the Makita. If you were doing really violent stuff with a really long blade, I would still probably prefer the Makita. But if you want to do things quick and easy, no chance of losing a silly pin like I've already done on the bench today with this one, I'm not sure what I've done with that, then this is the sort of system to go for. Very, very cool. Now, lots of people don't like Starlock because they say the blades are just too damn expensive, but they're usually comparing because they're buying cheap shitty blades from China that cost $1 each or something, from Amazon and Temu and AliExpress and Banggood and all those places, and then they compare it to something like this, which is made by Fein, or one made by Bosch. Is that a Bosch one? Yeah, or Makita, you know. So you're not really, it's a bit disingenuous to compare those things because you can get knockoff Starlock blades now too. But knockoff Starlock blades are not all they're cut up to be. They're not quite as easy to produce as flat blades, and so some of them have a few issues. Basically, these are the same as just about any knockoff blade you get. You know, they just print on their own name or etch on their own name. Basically, they're all identical when you buy these cheap ones. So when I got this out to put it on, I noticed this big cross here in the center, and I thought, geez, there's not going to be much meat for the little tangs to grab onto on the Fein. If you take a look at one of these Fein blades, you'll see, let's get a better background, you'll see it's an even star all the way around, whereas this has this big ugly cross in it, which creates weak points. For instance, if you clamp onto there and there, there's going to be a bit of flex and vibration in this thing, and if you clamp it on straight, you're only just catching the edge of there and there when you're trying to put it on with these little clampy things. So this blade, possibly a bit better on the Makita, it'll hold it much more firmly, one would think. But that's not the biggest problem with this, because when I actually try to put it on the tool, you can't even get it on there. Now that kind of sounds like it's on there, but it's not clicked in properly. If you have a look on the side, it is sitting up well above where it should be. It's not seated correctly. So it's seated okay on that side, not this side, not the front. So let me just show you what it looks like compared to a decent blade. Fein on the right, knockoff on the left. Take a look, there's far better definition on the Fein than the knockoff. This is punched to shit. It's just, this has got nice clear defined stars on it. This does not. It is junk, you know, you get what you pay for. Let's see if it'll fit on the Makita. We have a slightly better fit on the Makita, sitting a bit tighter. Like I say, this can pull it down a bit more evenly than the mechanism on the Fein, but it's still not perfect, and it's going to cause more vibration. It's going to potentially damage your tool and stuff the blade pretty quick as well. So before I even use these blades, they're fucking shit. Try some of the other ones, see if they're all the same. But this one looks like it's got a better, it's been punched nicer, pressed nicer. Let's see, yeah, that's a lot better. Perhaps not perfect, but at least it's even. Can't feel any movement in it, so that's good. What about one of these wood and plastic blades here? That looks pretty junky. I just don't even want to clip on. See, it's not clicking very nicely, and as I can see with that one, it's a little bit better than that first one I showed you, but still sitting out at the front. So the vibration level is going to be ratchet. So personally, I would only buy real Starlock blades because it's not worth buying all these cheap ones if they don't even friggin' fit the tool. These ones do seem to fit okay, but those ones don't. If you manage to find a decent supplier of them, well done. But just be aware, a lot of them are complete junk, and these are not worth using at all, in my opinion, because they're just going to potentially damage your tool. You're not going to get straight cuts. You're going to have bad vibrations going through you. And if you're using multi-tools all the time, you don't want the vibrations. And that's one thing that Starlock is good at, reducing vibration. They don't vibrate as much as OIS tools. This is a much better, more positive locking system that transfers the power down the blade. The blades can get flogged out much easier on an OIS system, and also these pins can break off. I've seen lots of multi-tools with broken pins, and yeah, just doesn't create a good cutting finish compared to a Starlock. But for a lot of guys, it comes down to the cost. So it's a personal decision, of course. If you want to see more of these blades in action, then check out the videos down there up in the top corner. I tried the knockoff ones on these tools and use them and stuff, and yeah, you can see whether you think they're any good or not and see which type of tool is right for you. I've also done a large comparison of multi-tools, which is up here in the top corner and down there. Please consider liking, subscribing, commenting, and I'll see you on another video if you do. Cheers.